Hello and welcome to Global News Factory. Let's shift our focus to Ukraine now. Zelensky has to go, his days are numbered. Both Trump and Putin want him out of the office ASAP. The US is pushing him to hold fresh elections, and most likely he will not run for presidency. He knows nobody likes him in the West, especially the US. Maybe a new leader would be able to handle the US-Ukraine ties a little better. And here comes the question of the day. Who will be Zelensky's successor? Okay, let's be honest here. He or she will be a puppet of the West. Let's not fool ourselves into believing that Ukraine is still a functioning democracy. Thanks to Zelensky and the US's deep state, a leader of America's choice will sit at the top in Kiev. Now, as per media reports, Ukraine may soon get a boss lady. We are getting signals from Ukrainian domestic landscape that this lady on your screen could become Ukraine's next president. She is Yulia Tymoshenko, former Prime Minister of Ukraine. She has been long dormant, has been away from media, from limelight since the war began 3 years back. She has now re-emerged. For years, Tymoshenko maintained a low profile, sometimes going to hospitals and sometimes to international forums. When the war began, she lent vocal support to Zelensky. But earlier this month, she took a different stance. She stunned observers with an emotional rebuke of German intel chief Bruno Kahl, accusing him of endangering Ukraine's very existence by opposing a ceasefire. Remember, Bruno had opposed a Russia-Ukraine ceasefire. Tymoshenko went after him like a hungry lioness. Tymoshenko's social media presence has since taken a sharp turn. She now praises Trump and openly advocates for a swift peace deal, putting herself at odds with Zelensky's administration, which still looks askance upon USA's peace efforts. As per reports, both former President Petro Poroshenko and Tymoshenko have been in covert communication with the Trump team, laying the groundwork for potential elections in Ukraine. Poroshenko, it appears, is positioning himself as a mediator between Washington, D.C. and Kiev. Tymoshenko, however, seems to have bigger ambitions. Politico reports that she has been rallying parliamentary support behind closed doors, preparing to lead a future ruling coalition. Meanwhile, Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko recently made a cryptic remark suggesting that a politician from Ukraine had secretly reached out to Russia's Vladimir Putin. Now, many suspect Tymoshenko could be that politician. On the surface, things may seem quite puzzling. Tymoshenko's popularity has waned and her public trust ratings are among the lowest in Ukraine. However, from a realpolitik standpoint, she is a logical choice. Now, it was being reported earlier that Valery Zaluzhny, the former head of Ukraine's armed forces, might be considered for the top role. His popularity remains intact, but he is anti-Trump, and that has significantly damaged his prospects. Tymoshenko, on the other hand, has one more advantage: the experience. She has spent decades navigating Ukraine's disastrous politics. Tymoshenko has deep political ties and once worked closely with Putin. If Ukraine is to broker a painful but necessary peace, her political acumen could prove invaluable. And bringing her to power would not be difficult. As a sitting MP, she could be appointed Rada Speaker or the Parliamentary Speaker. If Zelensky were to step down, Tymoshenko would automatically assume the role of acting president, granting her the authority to oversee an interim government, negotiate peace, and organize new elections. What happens next, that is secondary. If she succeeds, she could run for presidency and potentially win. And if she fails or becomes politically toxic, she can simply be discarded. For both Russia and the US, either outcome would be manageable. In the high-stakes chess game of Kiev politics, Tymoshenko is not the most beloved piece, but she may be the most useful one. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching Global News Factory.
Thank you for choosing to fly with Air India.